Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Dynamite post show review. Dynamite is live from Las Vegas, Nevada, from where it all started. What a stack card we have for tonight. Kenny Omega versus Andrade El Idolo. And we will saw Brody King and MJF in an Eliminator match. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off with the Death Riders versus the Don Callis family in a trios match. I suppose the positive thing about there being so many talented members of the Don Callis family is that the Death Riders can fight a different combo every week and we get entertained with the party matches like this. While it's clear that we saw last Dynamite, Takeshita is coming after John Moxley's Continental title, and I hope we will see Pac versus El Clone singles match and Alexander versus Garcia match as well. So we can see a different singles matches and different combination of matches from this feud. And for this trios match, we saw Garcia and Alexander scrap early, trading takedowns, chops, and shoulder tackles. We saw Alexander and Clone attack from behind, leading to Pac and Garcia making the save. Then Clone hit his one leg springboard moonsault as Pac was pulled outside and beat down. Moxley standing tall with the exploders, sending Alexander outside and catching a diving Clone with a mid-air cutter. That was very good cutter from Moxley. Dragon Tamer applied by Garcia, Moxley hitting a curb stop. Takeshita wouldn't deny that and he flattered Garcia with the Raging Fire for the win. Post match, we saw Takeshita stare down Moxley and we get the confirmation that it will be Moxley versus Takeshita at Grand Slam, Australia. So I think it's gonna be a fantastic match and I can't wait to see this match. Next up, we saw Orange Cassidy and Timeless Tony Storm versus Jordan Ossis and Brittany Brooks in a mixed tag team match. Cassidy threw the tamest of the chops to start the match. Ossis watched too much power slam as he wound up, but Cassidy missed and got a takedown. We saw Storm spiked Brooks with a brutal tornado DDT, and Cassidy popped Ossis with an orange punch and won it for his team. And post match, we saw Tony Storm taking the mic and talking about what she will look like if her head gets shaved. Storm looked at Lothar and crumbled to her knees. Two things in Australia will happen: either Cassidy gives Wheeler Yuta a come over, or Storm will make Marina look like Moxley. So, again, hyping up their hair versus hair match at Grand Slam Australia. Earlier, we saw Darby Allin was skating, but the War Dogs, Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, pulled up with a car, attacked him by the production truck. Connor cracked Allen with a tire before they threw him into the truck of his car. So we saw that on Collision. This feud is continuing between Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin. Next up, we saw one half of the trios champion Adam Page, Hangman Adam Page versus Mark Davis. Hell of a hard hitting match this was. I am hopeful with Jake Doyle out of action for the foreseeable future that Davis stays showcased and doesn't fall into the background. This was a strong obstacle for Page, who was absolutely stamping his ticket for the next week at Grand Slam Australia. Davis clobbered Page in the corner with a home run forearm, took Page up for a suplex attempt, but Page bit his way free. Then we saw Davis escaped the Deadeye with a released German wanted a BT bomb, which Page escaped with the Hurricane Rana for 2. Deadeye connected by Page for a 2 count. Davis stepped aside a buckshot. Page held on to and hit a tombstone. Back inside, Page connects with the buckshot to get the victory. So Page going to Grand Slam Australia to wrestle the winner of Kenny Omega versus Andrade. for the right to challenge for the AEW World Championship. So let's see what happens at Grand Slam Australia. Next up, we saw the match that we are waiting for a very long time. Kenny Omega versus Andrade El Idolo. This is the first time Andrade and Omega have faced off since 2021. I'm very happy they are pushing Andrade as a new contender in the main event picture, no matter how he won this match. And a high quality match with Omega continuing to look great since returning to action, and Andrade having another strong TV outing. I do like how this will presumably go on, and what happens next for these two men. So for the match, we saw Omega wanted one winged angel from the start, but Andrade countered it into a snap suplex for two. Callis said Andrade is so gorgeous he should be on the romance novel riding a horse. So Callis is talking about it on commentary. Andrade ducked a lariat into a flying forearm, kept up and singled for a finger four, but Omega got cradle for a 2 count. Andrade briefly got distracted by the female fans before connecting on his springboard tornillo. Andrade tried his double spring moonsault, but Omega was ready and got the boots up. V-trigger in the corner. Andrade pounced with a finger four into the bridge, causing Omega to roll over and Andrade scramble to the ropes. Omega positioned Andrade perfectly for a V-trigger. Omega wanted an avalanche one winged angel, but Andrade reversed into a sunset bomb. Callis distracted Aubrey Edwards as Andrade went for the screwdriver shot, but Swerve Strickland ran out and took it from him. Aubrey then was distracted by Strickland, allowing Andrade to low blow Omega and hit the DM for the win. And it was a very shocking result for Omega, but a very good result for Andrade El Idolo. And he will be wrestling Hangman Page for a world title shot at Revolution. Post match, we saw Andrade celebrated with the ladies while Strickland got into the ring and Omega got up and got into the face of Strickland. Security rushed out and separated the two. I think this was the first time security had successfully done their job and broke up the fight, and I think that will be the direction for Omega and Swerve Strickland, and I am very excited to see this feud as well. Next up, we saw Renee interviewing Chris Statlander, who agreed not to be out there during the next match, and doing so she will give Tekla a rematch next week in a stipulation of Statlander's choice. If Tekla is a good girl, Statlander will tell her what the stipulation is on Collision. So next up is the women's tag title eliminator match, Babes of Wrath versus Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Wanted Megan Bayne to start, but Penelope attacked her from behind, giving them the advantage for the early start of his match. Willow cartwheeled out of the corner and hit an Gary before Ford ran distraction, allowing Bayne to hit a corner Hurricane Rana, and the Megasis are in control for the early part of this match. We saw high kick connected by Cameron, but Ford answered with a clubbering forearm that looks brutal. We saw Ford flew in with a double blockbuster from the top, leaving everyone down. That looks fantastic. Ford saved her partner as Megan Bayne launched her into Willow for an assisted cutter, and they hit the Doomsday Device finisher for a clean win on the champions. And now we have the confirmation that Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford will challenge Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron for the women's tag titles at Grand Slam Australia. And I think they should strap Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford this time with the women's tag titles. So another great match announced for Grand Slam Australia. We saw a video package of the TNT title match from Collision last week of the debuting Tommaso Ciampa defeating Mark Briscoe in a 19-minute classic match, and we backstage go on Dynamite and Champa is holding the TNT title, saying out of the respect to title and Mark Briscoe, he will carry on that tradition. Ompad Challenge continues on Collision in Vegas this weekend. He won't be hard to find. He called the bet Sylvie. Next up, we saw Ricochet versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry for the AEW National title. A very competitive match by these two. GOA accompanied Ricochet during his entrance but went to the bag. We saw Ricochet kept Perry grounded until Perry started a strike exchange. Ricochet was again sent outside. This time Perry tried a Cazadora Bulldog, but Ricochet caught and smashed Perry into the commentary desk. We saw Brainbuster, Northern Lights held on for the suplex to the apron. Perry leaped for a DDT. Ricochet blocked and rolling into the Northern Lights bomb. Ricochet grabbed the national title right in front of Rick Knox as he slid it into the ring to run distraction. Thrust kick connects. Perry blocked, had it blocked. Perry inside out, lariat, powerbomb, DDT, countered by Perry into a poison rana. What a great sequence that was. Perry wanted the sacrifice knee. GOA ran to the ring and Khan caused distraction for the referee. We saw Young Bucks walking out, smacked Khan into the back with a chair, and they brawled out GOA from the ringside. We saw Ricochet in the meanwhile place the national title in the corner and dodged a diving Perry, planting his face into the title. Ricochet hit Vertigo and retained the title. So again, Ricochet winning by cheating, and I think we need a new challengers now for Ricochet and his AEW national title. But I think that was a very great match from Ricochet and Jungle Jack Perry. And in the main event, we saw MJF versus Brody King in an AEW World Title Eliminator match. We saw prior to the start, the Vegas crowd broke out in a massive ice chant, which seemed to catch MJF off guard. As the match bell rings, Hangman Page music hits and MJF turns his attention to the ramp. King was right behind MJF and choked him out with the hanging sleeper of the apron. King quickly brought MJF back into the ringside. Corner cannonball and Gonzo bomb hit, and that was it. That was the squash pin upset from Brody King to MJF, and it was a shocking result, but a very good result. King held up the AEW World title, and we got the confirmation that he will face MJF for the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam Australia. A great match announced for Grand Slam Australia as well, and the other match is Andrade versus Hangman Adam Page. We saw Andrade rushed out to the ring and clocked King with the spinning back elbow. Andrade picked up MJF and spiked him with the DM before Page ran down and clocked him with a buckshot lariat. So all four guys are hitting their moves, and at the end we saw King recovered and hit another Gonzo bomb on MJF, holding the title up once again and standing tall as the show went off the air. So again, very stacked card for Grand Slam Australia announced. We have 5 matches already announced, and it's gonna be a fantastic event next Saturday on Grand Slam Australia. So that was the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and keep watching Elite Wrestling World. I will see you guys in the next video.